myself awestruck at all there is to learn in the world. That moment represents what a library means to me. Sometimes you're there seeking knowledge, and sometimes the knowledge seeks you while you're there.
First and foremost, we are very grateful to the donors. 113.
All right.
Thank you, Chris. And again, everybody, my name is Scott Biederman. I'm the Vice President for Development and Alumni Relations here at Pacific. I'm sorry, it took me a while to get off of mute because I was so excited in watching that video of our ribbon cutting that we had during homecoming this past October. And so I also look at that video thinking how far our libraries come from when I was a student here in 2005, where we struggled, my wife and I, who we met at Pacific, we struggled to find an outlet, an electrical outlet, if you could believe it, within our library. Now it's been renovated and modern and has plenty of the amenities that our students are used to in learning in a 21st century environment. And so I have the honor today just to kind of go over a little bit about how this came to be from a fundraising perspective, and thank a lot of our alumni who stepped forward in making this possible. And so I'd be remiss in that video that you saw on the side of the building, the William Knox Holt Memorial Library and Learning Center. For many of you who are from the Stockton area, you also know that there's Benjamin Holt, which is the main thoroughfare here in Stockton, because the Holt family was a significant historical family in this region who developed in the late 1800s, the tractor. Was developed here in Stockton and eventually would sell and become Caterpillar and move their headquarters to the Midwest. Even though the company moved away, the family's commitment, the Holt then / Atherton family's commitment to University of the Pacific remained. And we had somebody from the Holt Atherton family on our Board of Regents, our University Board of Regents, for more than 40 years. So still a significant legacy in the Stockton area, as well as a donor to this library renovation. And so the family primarily lives in Texas, but are still very connected to our library here in Stockton and the renovation itself. And so I thought it'd be fun to give you some renovation by the numbers. We had more than 800 alumni and friends contribute to this donor-driven project. And to put that into perspective, the last time we had a major renovation of this library was in the 1980s. So it was due. Even though it's multiple buildings in one, this renovation really made the building seem seamless. Even though you still have the great exterior panels that you'll see throughout the library, it really made it feel as if it flowed from floor to floor, as if it's one singular library. And for our students, they're very excited about the Starbucks, which is also in our library. Many community organizations, such as the Rotary of Stockton, the Japanese American Citizens League and Friends of Barden Stevenot, invested to acknowledge their deep connection to the community history and heritage in Stockton. So when you go through the renovated library, you see these organizations that are committed and have roots here in Stockton that want the next generation of students to understand the history here that we have at the university, which being the first and oldest university in the state of California, we have a lot of historical significance. And it's nice to see many of those agencies support the library again during this renovation. Collectively, we had more than 500 alumni that supported many aspects, but primarily our study rooms, which again, if you are on campus, the study rooms at night are one of the most popular places for our students to be because it's an opportunity for them to collaborate and be together and learn in a community. Some of those legacies in those community rooms, those study rooms, are the Alpha Kappa Lambda fraternity, our Black Alumni Club, And our cluster colleges, Raymond, Cavell, Callison, and our School of International Studies invested in our study rooms in this renovation, which again, very, very significant for our students. We also had great volunteer steering committees, which Georgette Hunnefeld, who's on this Zoom, who works in development, she led a lot of these fundraising activities and volunteer activities, who are purposeful in connecting classmates back to the university that may not have wanted to contribute back, but wanted to have this renovation be their place to have a legacy on campus. And so when you go throughout the library, you'll see exhibit displays mounted in each of the study rooms. Each display has a QR code, so you can get your phone and connect with people directly through the special collections archives that we have here on campus. Having this digital platform also connects our students, again, with this rich heritage that we have within our own universities, so our cluster colleges, our fraternities, our Black alumni groups, to learn more about their significance that they had with international engagement, intercultural immersion, critical thinking and leadership, and really so much more, because those schools are so important to the history and also to the future of the university. And our current students are able to utilize a QR code to learn more about them that they wouldn't have been able to do really in the past. And so it's very, very exciting that that's there. We want to really celebrate and express our gratitude to this donor-driven renovation. This was an $11 million project, primarily funded by our alumni and donors, and again, enhances the student experience. If we think about ways in which we could increase our retention of students, the graduation rates of students, it's to have a space where students are able to collaborate, to gather, and to work in a hub which co-locates a lot of the student success aspects that we have on campus on the second floor. So it's really intentional in making the library a learning center, more so than we have in the past. And so we really want to celebrate our more than 800 donors that contributed to the vision and the future of our students in transforming this library. Lastly, because this is the only amount of time they give me because I'm a talker, is I want to again express our deep appreciation for our alumni ambassadors from Raymond College, Elbert Cavell College, Callison College, and the School of International Studies, whose passionate commitment to their Pacific education inspired others to contribute to their legacy and this library renovation project. So thank you, thank you, thank you to all of our donors. It's an honor to work with all of you, and we appreciate your continued support of Pacific. Now I'll turn it over to really the most important aspect of the library renovation is our student, right? Our students and how they incorporate and work in this new library setting. And I want to introduce to you a senior who actually spoke at our library ribbon cutting event back in October during Pacific Roars Back, our largest homecoming ever, right, Kelly? Ever. It was a large homecoming, and we were excited about how many alumni came out that heard Jamie speak. And so we thought it'd be a great opportunity for Jamie to discuss what is the impact this library renovations had on students here at Pacific. And so I'd like to introduce Jamie Chesborough, who is a senior who's graduating in like a week or two, to discuss with all of us the impact a facility can have on a current student here at Pacific. So Jamie, do you want to unmute yourself and tell us a little bit about your story?
Hello, everyone. My name is Jamie Chesborough, and I'm a senior in the School of International Studies here at Pacific. I have had the pleasure of working at the William Knox Holt Memorial Library and Learning Center and participating in 2 fellowships during the last 2 years. The physical library renovation and the increased focus on digital and collaborative projects creates new opportunities and resources for students here at Pacific and for those who access it around the world. Likewise, this has created opportunities for me personally that I would have not experienced otherwise. My work at the library has been centered on digitizing the original research conducted here at Pacific. Digitization of the library's collection became very important as the library was closed due to COVID and students needed to access resources online. This work has increased the accessibility of innovative research conducted here at UOP to users all over the world, as they have been downloaded over 11,000 times. I was also part of the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion audit of the library collection, one of the many DEI initiatives at the university started in 2020 under President Callahan's leadership. Due to my work, I've had the opportunity to participate in 2 Pacific Advanced Collaboration Summer Fellowships, which are funded by the library and donors. The Summer 2020 Fellowship had student fellows create a uniquely student-designed reacting to the past game. This serves as an example for the experiential learning opportunities here at Pacific. When I transferred to UOP, I never imagined that I'd participate in fellowships, but I'm very grateful for these experiences. Now I'm applying for graduate school and the Fulbright program, and this fellowship has made me a strong candidate for both. And most recently, I participated in the Summer 2021 Fellowship, where an interdisciplinary team of students created Tiger Strides. This is a phone application which explores historical instances of student leadership here at UOP. I feel like it is important to hear about this experience from all of the fellows, so now we will show a video about the fellowship which was created for the library's X Space.
Tiger Strides is an augmented reality tour of Pacific's campus that highlights student leadership through history. Our team of 6 students from a variety of majors created the app over the 5 weeks of the fellowship.
This project was an interdisciplinary research-based project. Before we could even begin developing the app, we had to do a lot of in-depth research into the topics we were discussing. For that purpose, we started by going down into archives. We started by looking at past historical documents. We started by going into past scholarly research on the university's history. And as we learned more, we discovered that there were amazing instances of student leadership throughout university history. And from that, we drew the inspiration to develop this app.
So to design a cohesive identity for the app, we used Adobe design tools such as Illustrator, XD, and Photoshop to develop unique graphics that connect with people. So everything you see, from the colors to the fonts to all of the avatar and the patterns, everything was custom made and handpicked by the team.
In order for us to create the app, we utilized Unity Game Engine's geolocation, hotspot, augmented reality, and multi-brush to bring the team's vision to life. These features allow us to create location-specific exhibits. We also use drones. Using these drones, we're able to capture the smooth footage of the campus's natural beauty and meaningful location.
The hardest aspect of the fellowship for me was a learning curve that came along with creating a Unity game engine. As an international relations student, I haven't worked this closely with software programs before, and so the constant encouragement from T and Keely, the computer science professionals, really helped me to overcome these challenges.
As I've embarked on this project, as we've done this project, I have realized that some aspects of the campus that I thought were just interesting buildings are really far more than that. For example, Burns Tower is a phenomenal, iconic monument here on campus, but we don't really see the history when we look at the tower. And one of the big parts of the history that I learned about while I was doing this research was that Burns Tower was the site of a massive student protest that ended up leading to the creation of the CIP, the Community Involvement Program, which helps community members in the Stockton area get an education here at Pacific. So there's lots of things that I learned to help connect Pacific and the land itself to amazing instances of student leadership, such as the connection between Burns Tower and what is now the CIP.
Using the smartphone camera, digitally created 3D objects are overlaid onto the surrounding environment, and we chose to use augmented reality technology like this to create a deeper connection between users and the actual physical locations around campus.
So aside from making this a solely augmented reality experience, we also implemented the use of virtual reality tools. So by using Oculus headsets, we used an application called Multi-Brush, which is a way for the fellows to put their own personality into this project as well. So through Multi-Brush, we were able to go in and create a 3D environment for the users to experience and have them walk into. Of course, we have other images such as photographic evidence and archival research that's thrown around in the rest of the app, but we really wanted to use Multi-Brush as a way to have kind of a break for users and kind of immerse themselves into the experience.
Hi, I'm Lisa Cooperman, University Curator and lead on the 2021 Pacific Advanced Collaboration Summer Fellowship. Sponsored by the University Library, summer fellowships are unique opportunities for creative research, developing innovative projects in the digital humanities. Join us. Look for opportunities in the Pacific Library.
And I'd like to add that in addition to publishing the app on Android and iOS devices, we've applied to the 2022 National Conference on Undergraduate Research and will hopefully get a chance to show off the innovative work being done by students here at Pacific. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. That is really amazing. And maybe we can find a link for that app for those of you who are on the call today, that we can have you download that and look at that.
I can go find one.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Jamie. And so we are going to show a wonderful tour of the library space. This was all done with drones during the pandemic. So it's a really great time where it's all empty. We could fly drones around into the library. So we'll get that uploaded right now. And just to kick that off, we will go ahead and get started. All right, that is a wonderful video. And to talk a little bit more about that, we have our Associate University Librarian, Niraj Charji, here. And so I will go ahead and spotlight him. And if anyone has any questions about the library, he's the perfect person to be able to ask.
Hello, everyone. And Chris, can you let me share my screen? I have a few slides.
I will definitely do that right now.
Thank you.
You are set to share.
All right. Thank you. All right. Are you able to see the ribbon cutting picture? Okay. All right. So my name is Niraj Chaudhary, and I'm Associate University Librarian. I've been here since a little over 5 years now. I was involved in the renovation project since the beginning, which actually started in 2016. So I'll very quickly jump through the slides, so just kind of give you a little more context. So bear with me for a few seconds. So back in 2016, in July, we had a 2-day workshop, which included, campus stakeholders, students, of course, faculty, administrators, and the purpose of the workshop, a renovation workshop, was to kind of develop a framework for, what the design for the renovated library is going to look like, and what is a library that we're trying to build. So this is, I'm sharing some pictures. And this is a picture from the workshop itself. And I want to point out our university librarian at that time, Mary Somerville, who is right there in white jacket. She was leading the charge for the renovation at that time. And what came out of that 2-day workshop is kind of 4 different kind of goals or the plans or the focus areas that we were going to do with the renovation. One was to, of course, build a variety of learning spaces for students. Second was to deliver academic library services, which would be all the traditional services that we provide to students and faculty. Third was the developing faculty spaces and also the support that we provide to faculty for teaching. And final was kind of facilitating student academic success. So I'm going to kind of describe that. So what we did with the renovation was build this academic support student hub, which is located on the 2nd floor, which you saw during the drone shot as well. The idea behind this was to bring in all the academic support providers on campus to one location. So students are getting all the support they need. So in the hub, we have librarians who provide research consultation. We have general academic tutoring center. We have athletic study hall, math lab, writing center, collegiate learning, all of that located in one spot for students to kind of take advantage of that. And then, of course, we build a variety of learning spaces. We have spaces from quiet study spaces to cafe, to makerspace, learning labs, living room. So basically giving students an opportunity and spaces and tools and furniture to kind of help with the learning that, their style of learning. And in terms of faculty innovation, we have created a robust set of tools and services that we provide to faculty with the renovated library. So that includes things from drones, poster printing, 3D printing, to services such as app development, virtual reality development, to providing platform to faculty to host journals, conferences, and theses and dissertations. So all all the ways that you can showcase specific knowledge to creating knowledge, all of that in one space. I'll quickly go through the picture. Of course, this is the renovated, the fountain or the plaza, we call it, right outside the library, which we have seen already. The Starbucks is one of our most popular spot in the library after renovation. We have tons of students who use this every day. Of course, this is the screenshot of the student academic support hub on the 2nd floor. This is the space that we have for our faculty lounge or faculty center on the 2nd floor in Center for Teaching and Learning, which was completely renovated. This is a shot of the living room where this is just outside, kind of on the other end of the Starbucks. This is a picture of the Cube, which is a makerspace, provides all kind of tools and technology for faculty innovation and student learning. And of course, Jamie talked about the Tiger Stride, so the kind of fellowship that now we'll be offering. And we offer already, and in the future we'll be offering a lot more of these. This is a sample of a faculty project that we currently did. We're actually in the process of completing it. We are developing a simulation in a virtual reality environment where students can practice different scenarios in a dental settings. And of course, this is an alumni event, so I wanted to highlight one of the kind of cool things about one of the platforms that we offer, the library offers, which is a digital repository. So starting in 2016, we started digitizing thesis and dissertation that was done by students at Pacific. This particular thesis was written by a student in 1971. From English department. We used to have this a physical copy in the past, but now since we digitized it and put it in the platform, you'll see the numbers of downloads since 2017. This particular thesis has been downloaded over 34, close to 34,000 and worldwide. So it kind of shows how we are providing services and platforms that increase visibility of the kind of scholarship the students produce. I wanted to also, of course, highlight another project that we were able to do after the renovation. This one was a research project that a student in music department, music conservatory did it, was working with on a research project about on students, on small children with some disability. And for this research project, the cube was able to 3D model, 3D print, kind of a hand grip that was only possible because of the tools and the services we provide in the cube. And on this page, you will see a student acknowledging the cube and the staff that worked and making this project possible. That's all the slides I have, but I'm mostly here to answer any of the questions that you may have about renovation or any of the things that I said. So thank you.
Thank you, Niraj, so much. We definitely appreciate that. All right, so those of you who are on with us today, make sure we will post this video up for you all to be able to share with your fellow alumni, so that way they can see what's going on in the library and what's new if you have not been back. I also want to say thank you so much to Jamie for talking about your experience in the library, all the awesome work that you've done in showing us, giving us another way to experience Pacific through the augmented reality. That is wonderful. So we have a link here for the library tour. And let's see here, we do have a question from Gil, Niraj, can alumni access student dissertations?
Yes, and I very quickly shared the link in the chat section. Oops, it was probably went to just Chris, so I'm going to go ahead and share it again. So if you click on it, it's available to anyone to look at it. You could actually download any of the thesis or dissertation. And if I can get a quick screen share again, I can go over that page. So are you able to see the page? Okay.
Yes.
All right. So this shows this is the page that has that I shared with you. It has links to all the thesis and dissertation. And what is interesting is this world map. This is actually a kind of live-ish. I think it shows the report of 1 month. It will show you what thesis was downloaded from what part of the world at that moment. So for example, you see that bubble that popped up. There was a bubble popped up in the west coast of United States, and it was for this thesis. You look at, there was a thesis downloaded from maybe England somewhere. There you go. So it's kind of like a live view of how our content gets downloaded and is being accessed all over the world. So over the past the year, we have right here, the number shows we had 168,000 times our content was downloaded.
Thank you. All right, wonderful.
Chris, can I ask Niraj a question?
Yes, you may.
Okay, I would just like to say that 2 of those downloads were my dissertation. Niraj, thank you. That's a comment. But Niraj, could you talk a little bit about the impact in terms of the amount of students who are now coming to our library versus in the past? You shared with me those numbers, and I was fascinated with how much a new space drives traffic to the library.
Yeah, no, and of course that we are counting all the numbers. Of course we do all the tallies and analysis at the end of the semester. So as you would realize, this is the first semester that we have been open fully after the renovation. The renovation, of course, was completed in March of 2020, but we were closed. Students didn't get to see the space or utilize much of the services. So we have tools and technology in places that counts usage of our library. Unfortunately, I don't have it, but I have taken a quick peek because the semester is not done yet. We still have another week to go, but the numbers are off the roof. We have huge traffic coming in the library and also faculty as well. So this semester alone, which is fall 2020, we have more than 45 faculty that are working with us directly in our Innovation Commons. So this is the commons that we provide all the cutting edge tools that gets integrated into the classroom setting. This semester alone, we have more than 45 faculty. To give you a perspective, in the past, of course, we had pandemic, but before that, we had maybe 10 a semester. So it's really has increased, fivefolds, I would say. And this is just the first semester. So as faculty and students are still kind of getting used to, and there's not I think that the number is going to increase dramatically in the coming semester and coming years.
Thank you, Niraj.
Great question. All right. Wonderful. So we will give it just one more moment, but once this does finish up, again, we will be posting this on the alumni website, so we'll be able to share this out to fellow alumni. And if they have any questions, you can go ahead and email alumnirelations@pacific.edu, and we can get you connected with Niraj or Scott or anyone about getting involved with the library and helping you get back onto campus. So Scott, thank you so much for doing that introduction today. Jamie, thank you so much for sharing your experience. And Niraj, thank you so much for sharing what the library looks like and what we are looking to move forward to. So I definitely appreciate it very much. Okay, have a wonderful day and happy holidays. Bye, everyone.